Yesterday was the International Day of Education under the theme AI and Education, Preserving Human Agency in a World of Automation. And it was yesterday, January 24th. And when I watch people celebrating and talking about it on social media, on the internet, on media, and then I was just thinking about Southern Cameroon and the far north region of Cameroon and other places facing conflict all over the world. The children living in those in conflict zone, like in Southern Cameroon, that for 8 years today, they are unable to go to school. I also look out the kind of educational system in most third world countries, especially Africa and Cameroon in particular. And then I was asking myself whether they too are also celebrating, because they do not deserve to celebrate, because there is no education going on in most countries, especially third world country, and especially in places where there are conflict, like in Southern Cameroon for 8 years today, children are unable to go to school. In the far north region of Cameroon for since 2014, children are unable to go to school. Added it to the way the government of President Paul Biya and other governments in Africa are doing. For example, in Cameroon, the government decided for all these 42 years to create political schools all over the country. A school without teachers, school without benches, school without infrastructure, and children are frustrated. Looking into it critically, the government of President Paul Biya is using illiteracy as a weapon to remain in power, so that they will have many illiterate that it will be easy for them to manipulate. When we talk about education, you look into it critically, you discover that there is no transmission of knowledge in Cameroon, because the only thing Cameroonian can proudly say that they have acquired in school is that they know how to read and write. That is the only thing they can hold on to, that they have gone to school. If it is that they are productive after their education, there is nothing. I can say it clear that there is no education in Cameroon. So they don't even supposed to. Because presently in Cameroon, there are students that have never seen a computer. There are schools that does not know what computer means, or even television. So they teach computer only through drawing, by seeing it in the textbook, and they draw it, and then they use stone and other things as a mouse and other a creative thing, handwork that they create using wood or bamboo or cartoon. They create the monitor of a computer and then demonstrating it to children and looking through it again, and then to prove to you that there is no education in Cameroon and many African countries and third world countries, is that what you see PhD holder, they have nothing to help the economy or the country with. Somebody having PhD in business but does not have a business, but moving from his village to Yaoundé to apply for the government to take them, to recruit them. You have somebody having PhD in agriculture but does not have a farm, and then you say this is education. That is what I say, that there is no education. So I am calling on all African countries, third world country, particularly Cameroon, to revise the educational system. The educational system in Africa was created by the colonial master purposely to create workers, and then they left for more than 60 years today. Instead for us to sit and change the educational system, we still hold on to what I studied in school. Is not helping me today in any way. In any way, I cannot even remember anything in what I studied in school. Nothing, if not of the history part of it that I hold on to, because I'm reading every blessed day from my own initiative. But other things that I study, geography, on all sort of things, all of them disappear. I cannot say anything related to all those things, because it was just based on a cramming, a memorizing and writing exam and passing without creating anything. All the project I wrote, these were aspects in which I could have focused on to use the solution I wrote in those projects to create an employment or a job for myself. But our lecturer or all of them believe and make it in such a way that it is just for you to go through. And many people have written projects, and all those projects like that are a problems you discovered in the society regarding what you study in school, and then propose solution to those this thing. And this is what they call creating your own work. But with us, because they make us to understand that it's just naming part of things, naming things, memorizing and writing it back and giving it to the lecturer to mark. That is why I propose in my book, Positive Mentality, a very system, a very good system of education for nearly all countries in the world. And then I am already developing it to become a book on its own, where I am talking about there is no need for any child to go to a secondary school if the child already discover his or her talent. If at the level of primary school, the child is already the parent already discovered that this is what this child is good in. If it is football, the child after primary school should go to a football academy. If it is fashion designing, after primary school, the child should go to a fashion designing school. And after that, when the child have already established a business, the child can acquire another skill or another forward his education while already established financially. And then I also talk about including life skills in our curriculum and our subject, teaching children basic things that they should know more about themselves. That is what they call education. And they focus. Now in Cameroon, the only thing needed to bring all Cameroonians back to good moral standard is discipline. And that is what I am proposing, that if chance is given to me to govern Cameroon, all Cameroonians, especially those experiencing puberty, will go to a military school. All Cameroonians to receive some kind of discipline, especially those experiencing puberty. Immediately you start experiencing puberty, they send you to a military school. All that puberty will expire there. You go through it in the military school and you come out. We will not have all the wayward children. We will not have them. So this is all about education, is changing the mentality, transforming the mentality positively, not negatively. Because in our Cameroon in particular, many people believe that anything that you change, any information is education. No, it is not education. Naming part of trees, that you are not going to study trees and be living and producing flower or create a garden, is useless. Forcing your child to become this or that is useless. When a child is good in, if it is a mechanic or it is a carpenter, after primary school, the child should go in for. The next thing many Cameroonians are not aware of, or Africans are not aware of, is that many people think of carpentry or fashion designing. They just call it tailor or cintre, and then it remains there. And then with that mentality, you are picturing but that poor tailor in your locality. You are not picturing a big brand like Gucci, knowing willfully that these are fashion designers. They are rich. They are billionaires. That is the kind of education I am talking about, that we have to transform this mentality. When we talk about carpentry, people are not looking about calling it you are in furniture. Because they just call carpenter, they just believe and they are picturing, but they look at people who are moving with hammer from one place to another, that these are carpenters. Not forgetting that in Cameroon there is a shop called Vision, where only one set of chairs is 1 million, some 2 million. Are they not rich? These are billionaires in furniture, in carpentry. And many of us, we just have this brain that you must become a police officer, you must work with the government so that you will have free money. And where is the free money? 100,000, you cannot work with the government and become a millionaire. No, it can never happen except you are involved in a corruption or embezzlement. You cannot. But you can only become one if you engage or open your own business. If you follow your vision or your talent or the gift that God gave you with, you follow it up. So this is the way to go. So happy educational day for those who are educated. I'm not talking for PhD holders. No. Because there are many PhD holders who are not educated. Many of them who are not educated. They have gone through school, but school have not gone through them. I'm talking about education.